Dan, how relevant is the car-making business at Tesla to this stock, and how relevant should it be?
Look, I mean, it's foundational relative to, obviously what they're doing in the quarter and of course, generating cash in the business. But the reality is the future is around AI. It's around autonomous. It's around robotics. I think it's the most important chapter in the history for Musk and Tesla. That's why Musk, now wartime CEO, and obviously a new pay package. And I think that's what investors are focused on. Any sell-off here, look, we view autonomous alone is worth $1 trillion of the story. This will, along with NVIDIA, be two of the best, what I view, physical AI plays in the market.
Dan, I think a lot of people might agree with you that autonomous could be worth $1 trillion to someone. It's about whether it is for Tesla. What can you point to that demonstrates success? What are the metrics you're following that justify a valuation that this company currently carries?
Yeah, first off, I mean, robotaxi, we've seen it in Austin ourselves. I think that you'll have 8 to 10 cities by the end of the year, and we ultimately believe 30 cities in the first half. Then you ultimately look at what's happening there, the geofence area, the safety driver getting removed. It's my view this is all heading toward level 4, right, in terms of when you think about autonomous. And what that means is no company in the world, BYD, pick any name out there, will have the scale and scope to compete with Musk and Tesla when it comes to autonomous and cyber cabs. That's the future. And then Optimus, I believe is going to be, a key part of this story. That's how you're going to get to $3 trillion market cap next 12 to 18 months.
But scale and competition, isn't this space, Dan, already looking very crowded?
Look, I'd say, crowded in terms of Waymo being first mover advantage, but they're in 5 cities, relative to from a scale perspective. I think Tesla's going to own 80% of the autonomous market. And that's why, from an investor perspective, look, if you hate Tesla, you continue to hate it today. I get it. But the reality is that this is a golden age for Tesla looking ahead, from autonomous to robotics. And that's why you talk about November 6th, what's going to be the Musk pay package, and then they're going to own, obviously, a big piece of XAI. This is now the AI transformation happening at Tesla. Cars obviously are important, but that just sets the stage for what I think what's going to be a historical move.
Well, let's talk about the pay package. Elon Musk had some very colorful language yesterday on the call when it comes to the proxy advisors for some of these institutional investors. What does he need to achieve in order to get that headline $1 trillion pay package?
Yeah, and look, and go back to the first pay package, the one that's right now caught up in Delaware. He did everything and more. And it just comes down to I agree in the fact that the biggest asset for Tesla is Musk. Musk is Tesla, Tesla is Musk. Look, obviously some of those are very ambitious in terms of, where they're ultimately going to hit in terms of the targets. But I think mid to high targets are hittable. And that's why incentivize him, make him wartime CEO. That's what he's doing. That's where his laser focus, versus maybe some of the, dark days when he was with Trump administration, obviously some of the brand damage. And I just think betting against Musk has been the wrong move again and again. And I think that's why shareholders overwhelmingly will approve this.
Dan, let's just stay on the pay package. What's the opposition to the pay package? What's your understanding of what it is? Beside the fact that it's absurdly large, that kind of doesn't matter. What's the opposition to it? What don't people like about it?
Look, obviously it's just, the view from an excess perspective, the actual numbers, why do they actually have to do this? But I think to some extent it's investors that don't understand the Tesla story. And I think any of the core believers, any of the core followers understand that the future of Tesla lies in Musk being CEO. And I think from a pay package perspective, given the targets, set high bars. That's where you want Musk to. You don't want to set low bars. And I think I think the board stepped up, Robin stepped up. This is the right pay package at the right time for what's going to be what I view as a golden chapter for Tesla.